Welcome back, Vectrekkers. I have a lot planned for this October update of Alpine Rescue. First, we're going to look at some classic retro games that inspired the gameplay and art style of Alpine Rescue. And secondly, we'll do a full playthrough from Snowmobile to the rappelling stage to the helicopter stage. I completely overhauled the Snowmobile stage, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then I saved the best for last. I'm going to actually take the Vectrex to my workplace and introduce it to my coworkers. Some of them had never seen or heard of a Vectrex before, so you're going to get to hear their real reactions.
I love this! I can sit and play this for hours.
Quick note, the retro gaming footage you're about to see was recorded off of real CRT TVs from my childhood consoles. Also, throughout this video, you're going to see some artwork that I've been creating for these art cards that I'm going to add to the physical copy of Alpine Rescue, and maybe make available for like desktop backgrounds and things like that. So let's talk about what inspired different aspects of this game. I was asked, why do I have different modes, like a helicopter mode, snowmobiling mode, and a rappelling mode, all included in Alpine Rescue? It all goes back to when I was a child and I made my very first video game purchase. I walked into my local Radio Shack, laid down my hard-earned birthday money, and picked up Galactic Attack for the TRS-80 color computer. Reading the instruction manual on the way home, I was so excited because this game had like a whole story in the instructions. It had different journal entries and it seemed to promise different modes. But what I ended up with was a single screen Galaxian clone. Soon after, my cousin introduced me to this game on the Atari 7800. There it was, multiple modes. It had biathlon, speed skating, ski jumping, bobsled, all in one cart. That's when I knew someday I want to make a game that will have a variety of modes. Let's talk about what inspired the gameplay for some of these modes, starting with the snowmobile levels. In this mode, I wanted to get across the danger of the incoming blizzard by having the background scenery begin to fade out as the snowstorm comes on. The first and maybe only time I've seen this done well in a video game was for Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo system. Now ignore my amazing gameplay and focus on the background. Pay special attention to this mountain in the background as the snowstorm comes in. First it changes to a darker color. Snowflakes are falling. And then it turns completely gray, heavier snow. And then you get snow in the forefront. Now with the Vectrex, you can programmatically change the brightness of the vectors, so fading shouldn't be a problem. The issue is, Vectrexes have a manual brightness button on the back. It's hard to give players a consistent experience when everyone has different manual settings on their brightness. For some people, the dim things are completely disappeared. For some people, things that should be dim aren't. So I had to come up with another way to give people a consistent experience of things fading out. And for that, I turned to another childhood TRS-80 color computer game, probably the most popular game on the TRS-80. Dungeons of Daggerwrath. Aside from the similar Vectrex aesthetic, Dungeons of Daggerwrath also really cleverly used dots to denote things fading out. things in the distance went from lines to dots, and very effectively using the dots to show you're fading out of consciousness after you've been killed. I incorporated this method into the snowmobile levels, and as the blizzard rolls in, things in the distance begin to fade out. When the first snowflakes appear, the moon disappears. As the snow increases, the far distant mountains disappear and the far terrain becomes dotted. More snow, and the near mountains disappear and all the terrain is dotted. And right before you are overwhelmed and lost in the blizzard, all you see is the dotted terrain right in front of your snowmobile. And now we're off to the rappelling or abseiling level. It seems like a small thing, but I really wanted to get the parallax scrolling of this mountain to match the way the mountains on this amazing Nintendo Entertainment System game scrolled in the background. This blew my mind as a kid, and I had to have it in this game. As far as the rappelling gameplay goes, if you turn the game sideways, you'll see that I was inspired more by the Google Dinosaur game than by actual rappelling. The main difference being you can stop and take a rest in my game. For the helicopter sections of the game, no surprise, this was inspired heavily by Choplifter for the Atari 7800. As a kid, I spent hours playing this game on my cousin's Atari. I really felt like I was flying a helicopter. And the scariest part is when you have to pick up the hostages, because you have to put yourself into the danger zone. The tanks can only hit you when you're close to the ground. The same is true in my helicopter mode. You cannot pick up items without going into a dangerous zone. The closer you are to the walls, the easier it is for the wind to push you into them. Alright, now it's time for a full playthrough of Mission 1. The past few weeks I have completely rewritten the snowmobile level. Like, I ripped out every bit of 5,000 lines of code to speed things up and to make things more consistent and funner. And I can't wait to show you what that looks like now. Some of you have been with me on this development journey from the very beginning. It's gone through 3 major overhauls for the snowmobile level. So from the very beginning, it looked like this, a little square, trees going way too fast, and scaling at a steady speed, which in real life they shouldn't do. Version 2, we had like landscape that could go up and down, and the trees came in starting off slowly and then speeding up as you get closer to your snowmobile, like real life. Version 3, we had music and jumps. The issue with version 3 was that things were moving at different speeds, so individual trees were coming in slightly differently. So I needed to really lock things together so it looked like a realistic landscape. Now for this version, I've completely taken the music out. I'm going to be replacing it. What you're going to hear is the source music that I haven't converted yet to Vectrex sound. So I may or may not go with this music, but I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. And I should be able to convert it okay. I think the menu graphics I've changed every single version. Here I've added a music option so you can turn music off or on. Some of you prefer your Vectrex games without background music. Alright, so I've moved the cabin over to the side. It's still there, the whole thing, but you can push it off the screen. This line, ignore that. There's some signposts telling you where to go. Here's our first animal. It's a fox. That jumps, you're jumping over logs. There's rocks to dodge, there's cliffs of course, there's tunnels to go through like that. And I'm adding quite a variety of animals. So far I've only got the 3, Yeti, fox, and rabbit. There's a star that gives you turbo speed. During turbo, you're invincible. You can't crash into rocks or trees or logs. Past a Yeti back there. Okay, so there's our first Yeti. And with this one, you can now have a photo album. You have 5 Polaroid photos you can take. And you can go through your albums at any time. Now the mountains in the distance have disappeared and the lines are becoming dotted as the blizzard rolls in. You have a limited amount of time before you get lost in the blizzard. There's a rabbit, Arctic hare. And here's our photos we've gotten. You can kind of go backwards and left and right. Of course, that comes from Web Wars, right? The photo album mode. That did inspire that part of it. Okay, there won't be this many Yetis in the final version. In fact, there's be very strict rules, like Yetis and animals won't come out when the full blizzard is on. They go and hide. So you're not worried about taking photos. You can focus on trying to finish the course in time. And there's other things you can do to attract a Yeti, but they will be much more rare in the final game. And you'll earn a lot of money for taking a photograph. And this is the end. There's going to be an ending screen here where we show you how many photos you've gotten and how many coins you've gotten. And ultimately you can do upgrades. For the rappelling level, I've mostly just added some variety, just a little bit of variety to the cliff. A lot more to go there. I will be incorporating a Yeti on this level as well. He's going to reach out and I'm imagining he's going to grab your rope and possibly shake you off. So you need to take a photograph with your camera. The flash will blind the Yeti, or at least he'll cover his eyes and drop the rope. Yetis don't like camera flash. So anytime a Yeti messes with your rope, you just take a photo. Not much has changed here since the last time. Just get the coins and don't fall. If you do fall, the flower doesn't grow. Like before I had it pushing up daisies. That pushing up daisies the animation only happens now when you lose all of your lives and you restart the mission at the very beginning. It just takes too long. So what you get when you fall from here is just a little message saying gravity wins. You hear the little ka-thunk sound. I'm not going to demonstrate that. Get your last letter for rescue. That's your last clue you found. And very shortly, the survivor will appear on a ledge, ready to be saved. I haven't messed with the physics on the rope yet. I do want to work on this some more. Currently, you're kind of bouncing off the screen, actually, so it's not good. Adding more variety, of course. Focus on these parts. There's our survivor. Alright, this will again take you to an ending screen. Right now I don't have that screen. It'll show you how many coins you got, and off to the helicopter level. So recommendations to remove that arrow. I'm going to try that and see how it goes. I haven't messed with this level yet. I was so busy redoing the whole snowmobile level from scratch. But now that I'm done with the snowmobile level, I'm going to focus on tightening this level up and possibly try removing that spinning arrow. I did spend a lot of time on the spinning arrow. I had to learn all about rotation and fun things like that, and I hate to throw that all away, but you know, I understand if it needs to go. On the helicopter level, the Yeti will come out and he can grab things off of the rescue cot, and the Yeti may come out of a cave and get on the helicopter. Once you save the guy, then you will get your screen where you can actually upgrade your snowmobile or your helicopter or your rappelling. So you can get a variety of enhancements. Like you can get a better magnet for your snowmobile so you get clues from further away. You get Yeti repellent spray so he doesn't like keep popping out and grabbing your rope. You saved a guy. Alright, so now this is the part you've been waiting for. I actually demo the Vectrex to my coworkers, some of whom who have never seen or heard of a Vectrex. Long story short, they enjoyed it, so enjoy. Here you go. It looks like that. It's amazing. Now,
I love this. I can sit and play this for hours.
it comes with the default game built in.
1982.
And of course, who wants to play with just black and white? So what they give you is these overlays. And see the scaling is butter smooth because it's using vector graphics. So you put that in front, and you've got your vector graphics. So you can. So it's basically. But the thing that's different about it. This is similar to the arcade games like Asteroids, and this is the only system ever made that uses vector graphics. So instead of drawing like a TV screen, it's like an oscilloscope or like your. They use them in F-14 fighter jets. The screen, and that's when they were testing it. They got some.
They use this in Top Gun.
Yep. So I'm just gonna go around here real quick and get rid of these, and then now I'm just showing you this is what the kind of games. This is the kind of games you had. You want to get that guy because he puts more mines. He dropped one, so it's going to appear right there.
And you played this when you were a child.
Well, I've got stories about that too. Yep. So and then you go to this, and now you're off to the next level. Okay, so that's the built-in game. All right, here's Alpine Rescue. All right, this is version 17.
2022 on this is crazy to see.
All right, so
you guys find this all I got?
Look at that.
all right, so it's supposed to be kind of spooky-ish because you're heading out into a blizzard. The story is, all right, you're working at the Alpine Lodge, right? You're out to rescue people, the president's daughter, whoever's been lost hiking. Also, as you're heading out there, there's a blizzard coming, so you got to rush to beat the blizzard because as the snow starts coming in, things start to fade out and so forth. The other thing is that there's reports of Yeti, like abominable snowmen out in the mountains. So you're also trying to raise funding for your cabin and upgrade your equipment. And to do that, you need to get some photographs, good photographs of the Yeti, to raise awareness of this endangered species or whatever. And you can also take photographs of things like foxes and rabbits or whatever you see. I've got foxes and rabbits and Yeti. I don't have the owls and stuff like that, whatever. They're Arctic hares or whatever. So that's the kind of point. So at any point you can, while you're running on the snowmobile, you can push your photograph button to take a Polaroid photo of an animal, and then it prints it out. You'll see that in a second. Deterministic, so it's always the same. I give it the same random seed, but every time you beat a level, you'll get a new random seed and new things appear.
It's snowing.
Okay, it starts snowing, so it starts to snow because the snowstorm's coming in. So when you see an animal, we can take photos. When the engine cuts out, I'm going to have the music start playing. It's just ambient, like foreboding music. And then we're getting the letters rescue. Once you get rescue, that's the clues the hiker left. Once you get them all, then you get to the end of this part of the game.
I feel like I'm on drugs.
This is a turbo. If you hit turbo, you're invincible.
Oh, wow.
And the things start to disappear. Oh, so there's a fox that was on the side. So we got a picture of a fox. And this is your Polaroid. You get 5 photos before you run out of Polaroids. So we just keep going. Oh, there was a Yeti in the tree.
There's the Yeti.
We hit a log. Hit another log. There's another fox. And now you can kind of go through your.
What's going on?
Yeah, now you can go through your photos and look at the different photos of the different foxes you've taken pictures of. The snow will continue to get closer, and as it gets closer, already the mountain. There's a Yeti in the tree. So that's a Yeti in the tree. Actually, I'm surprised there's no rabbits yet or foxes. Okay, now the mountains have disappeared. We got the big snowflakes coming down. There's a rabbit on the side.
You've got 5, and you ran out of Polaroids.
So I have no more Polaroids, but you can go through your pictures and look at them by doing that. All right, and we've almost got the last letter, at which point we'll save the. And also, okay.
Oh, turbo.
I hit turbo, but I did turbo. Okay. So anyway, so where's E? There's a fox that went by. Another fox.
That is so cool.
All right, and once we get there, come on. There's E. All right, so once you get to E, you have to go about like another click or two here, right into a log. So here you're rappelling down the mountain. And if you hit those spikes, you will die. And you're just bouncing down the mountain.
It's like the dinosaur game.
It's the dinosaur game sideways. That's exactly what it is.
That's so funny.
And hit the cliff. So then you fall,
Sayonara.
push up a daisy, and then you're back to the mountain. You have unlimited lives right now. So, all right. So let me try to do it. And so once we get past this part, which I'll do here soon.
You were watching a master at work.
You can stop at any point, like if you want to, like.
I just like how violent he bounces back.
Smack.
Oh.
And this is long. But, all right, there he is. Okay, so there's our guy we're trying to save. He's hunkered down there with his broken leg or whatever. Back to here, we'll have the cutscene, and then we're off to the helicopter rescue. They found you, so the arrow is pointing at the wind direction. So the arrow tells you which direction the wind's going, and you can lower your cot down and rescue letters again.
Oh yeah, physics is at work right there.
So you always feel like you're fighting that, kind of. And after you get each letter you get, your extension gets one length longer. So you can actually go further down into the canyon.
Oh, he was under the. Oh,
That was a
Should
coin.
be on the leg.
So okay, so where's the crash point then? Like how would you mess up?
If you crash into any of this little box is your area.
Okay, so you're just controlling the helicopter above. I see. It doesn't matter what the bottom
And
touches.
there's your
Oh yeah,
person,
I
right?
am controlling the bottom, like how I can hold it down there. And
But
keep
it can
them-
touch the walls.
Yeah,
you
that
can't.
can-
Oh no, John! John!
Okay.
I'm trying to explain it.
All right. The point is, we beat it. so we beat it, and he's back on. So now what happens? Is we actually did save him, although we lost the whole crew.
My time at uni, I've never, even in game history class, again, we learn about like cathode ray tube and like the original Pong, like, and how it was just the single thing on it. And no, not that Pong, older Pong.
I had Texas Instrument.
And
Did you?
that is like, I've never heard of this system, and that is so impressive, honestly.
Wow, that quote says it all. Listen, everyone, I'm so thankful for your subscriptions, for your likes, and for your comments. I'm so thankful for the Vectrex Fans Unite group on Facebook. You guys are awesome, as always. And, of course, the Vector Gaming Board forums. You guys are amazing and such a great resource for developers like myself. And a quick shout out to Alan Fitch, who reached out to me from Resonance 104.4 FM Radio London for an interview. That will be airing October the 30th, I think. So stay tuned for that. At the moment, Alpine Rescue is still under 16 kilobytes in size, and it has over 200 plus unique missions. The game is coming along really well. Thank you all for your support, for your input, and continued feedback. Like, subscribe, share, just whatever you got to do to help get the word out. Let's make this game a reality, and looking forward to hopefully launching it very soon. I think we're getting close to the finish line. Stay tuned.